Yeah, no, it was one of those difficult matches. I think we had to change a couple of things, especially on how they were defending, because for you to score goals, you need to find ways of breaking their blocks, defensive blocks, and it was very difficult because I think as much as the ground maybe was also giving us what we wanted in terms of dealing with their long balls, but at some point I think it was also denying us an opportunity to get those windows, those spaces where we can play. But I think we had to try and change, like I said. We started with 4 up, trying to put more pressure on them. And yes, it was working, but I think we lacked that aggression in terms of penetrating the line. But bringing in Tseho, Mokhaila, Tlolane, we wanted to try and control areas where we can attack, and I think it helps us a lot. That's football, eh? That's football. We need to understand that one match does not make a player, does not make you a bad player just in one match. And sometimes you need coaches who will believe in you as a player when you are down and give you confidence. I think we have given our players the belief that they are very important, and that is why they are here. And for them to go in there fighting even when things are tough, it's a true reflection of what we do where no one is there to see. But I'm happy that he managed to come back and score the important 2 goals. Test of character. Can we come back when we are trailing? And that is what I'm saying. These are things that I think if you look back, South Africans in most matches, when we are trailing, sometimes it becomes difficult for us to come back and win or get a draw. But it simply says that mentally, these boys are very strong because they have the will and they believe that they will win. So it doesn't matter how we win matches. But what is important, it is what we do to win those matches. I think even the match we were talking about against Botswana, where we were trailing, we kept on piling the pressure up until we got the goals. Again today, the same thing. So, I mean, it's just unfortunate that it is something that people might not understand. But sometimes we gain momentum in a game from the bench because of what the opponents are doing. And it gives us an opportunity to tweak things around so that we can get the results. Both. You compare, you try to analyze your opponents, and at the same time try to balance your bench and say, if things can go this way, this one will give me what I want. In the past, the match against Botswana, we did not use Tebogo Tlolane. But today we had to play him because we needed a bit of anaerobic endurance in the midfield in terms of covering the distance, and also a thinking because he could hold the ball and see those openings. So we needed that. So, I mean, the match against Botswana, we overused Mokhaila. And in this match, we had to try and manage his energy. That is why we had to bring him a bit late. Again, it was also a risk and a motivation at the same time for Tsegofatso Mabasa to say he needs to come back and remind people who's Tsegofatso Mabasa. And he came in, he did the job. But to be honest, I think credit to the technical team. The analysis we are doing on the bench, I think it has been working for us. And I think it is important sometimes when there is pressure, you become sober and try to see what you can do to get the results. Here we have 23 players. And in these 23 players, you need to understand the strength and the weaknesses of each and every one of them. And when you play them, you need to remind them of their strength and try as hard as you can not to remind them of their weaknesses. And I think Tseho can score a goal at any given time and might not give you what Letsolo will give you in terms of being quick into spaces and all of that, like Reiners. But Tseho is a finisher. So you need to play Tseho in areas where Tseho can get goals. And again, I think we need to be honest. He was a bit rusty because, like you are saying, even at club football, he was not getting enough minutes. I think he was at Skukun. He did not play much. So coming here, he needed people who will say to him, "Tsehu, you are good when you do this, go and do this." If you check, when he came in, we said, "Go and sit between the two center backs." He went and played between the two center backs. Any ball that drops there, he was there to take an advantage and score a goal. So I think it's just a matter of believing in what you have and try to make them understand how important and how good they are. At this stage, it was difficult because we could not even watch, we could not even check what is happening on the other side, because now when you are trailing and this other side, you're saying if Botswana wins, something can happen. Eswatini, if they win, something can happen. So we had to concentrate on this one. But fortunately, we managed to watch Zambia, I think, twice. And if they are our next opponent, at least we have an idea of how are they playing. They are a very good side, and I think at the same time it will give us an opportunity to say let's go and analyze them better so that we can make proper decisions. And when coming to the players, I think, to be honest, these are tournaments that show and remind us as a country that we have talent. Sometimes we have players who are just packed in different clubs. And we shouldn't forget about those players because they're not playing. And this is the right opportunity for them to remind people of how good they are. Look at Lesedi Kapinga. You can talk of many players who are trying their best to show how talented they are. And these are tournaments that gives us an opportunity to allow them to express themselves and also go back to the market and be seen again. To be honest with you, personally, I believe that 90%, if not all the players who are playing for Maritzburg United, personally, I don't think really they deserve to go down. Those guys were very, very good. And it's just unfortunate that they've been relegated. But this is few of them who are here with us. You can see professionalism. You can see the talent. It's just unfortunate that we haven't been able to play Janino Palace, but we are trying our best to see how best can we manage, because this was one match that we could not even risk making changes because some of them did not have those minutes. But honestly speaking, I don't really think that Human and the rest of the guys at Maritzburg, they really deserve to go play in the first division. They are very talented. They need one more chance in the Premier League to prove their worth, to prove how good they are.
I think we executed our plan very well in the first half. Then in the second half, we allowed South Africa to, I think we gave them more spaces and allowing them to take proper passes forward. So if there is no pressure, opponents obviously will pinpoint when passing. But when there is pressure, there is no way you can play. Obviously, you will be forced to play back. I think we observed growth in the team, looking at the way that we didn't play well in our first game. But in the second game, we did well. And I think today we played well, except for allowing those goals. Otherwise, in terms of performance, I was impressed. Yeah, I think when playing against the best, any space, they'll punish you. So we allowed them to play, and they changed their approach. They push more balls up front. So we needed to deal with the second balls. I think in the first goal, we didn't apply pressure, allowing that player to take a shot. I think we observed, like I mentioned, we observed growth. So we need to take the positives and deal with the negatives. May I not comment on that one, sir, please?